Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're enjoying your week so far. I came to you today to talk about the Lionsgate portal as promised. So I brought in the fire element with these candles, and I have this incense. I don't know if you can see this smoke here. I wanted to bring the smoke element. This is an incense I got from Ireland. It's called Dragon's Blood, and it smells very sweet and earthy. It's very powerful. And then I'm also bringing in this yellow flower, as well as my little citrine stone here, which is for the third chakra activation. So Lionsgate portal is a stargate. So if you imagine like two lions outside of a stargate, that's kind of like the image we're working with. And it's an astrological alignment. It's going on during the time of Leo. And what it is it's when the Sirius star, which is the second brightest star in the sky, lines up with Orion's belt. And then that lines up with the pyramids of Giza. So it's a story and a mythology about Lionsgate that comes from ancient Egyptian times. And the mythology is that Orion is Osiris and Sirius is Isis. And if you know anything about Egyptian mythology, you know that Osiris and Isis created the seat of all civilization in Egyptian mythology. So the other thing that I think is important to mention about Egyptian mythology is their regard for cats. So they saw cats as these special creatures, and they saw them as interdimensional beings, which I totally get. If you see some cat just staring off and looking at something, but you don't know what they're looking at something. You just don't know what it is. So they have cats as these special sacred creatures. And this feline energy is what is kind of at the seat of the Lionsgate portal. And that's the energy of the Lionsgate portal. So I did do kind of a little channeled reading on what the energy of the portal is, but first I wanted to talk about the numerology. So we're dealing with the apex of this alignment, which happens on August 8th, 2020. In fact, it happens every year on August 8th. Or around and about that time. But so August 8th, they claim that day because of the numerology of it. So number 8, which is my number, is a number about power and prosperity, about sovereignty, about personal mastery over shadows, transforming into light. And it's about attaining complete control through sheer awareness and compassion. And then the number 2 is the number of the divine masculine and divine feminine coming together. But in the research that I did, they were saying that in this year, it really is about the exalted divine feminine and the exalted energy of the divine feminine. And the 0 is about the void. So it's about, sort of the trust and the traveling through nothingness to get to where you have to go in life. So that's the numerology behind it. So now let's talk about the energy. So what I was feeling with the energy was that there's a big influx of energies coming in that's very, very powerful. I was seeing a booming echo in a sweeping canyon, one of those echoes that just sounds super loud and bounces for a really long time. And it has a lot of power and a lot of intensity to it. And so more specifically, okay, so one more thing about that. So it's kind of like a big influx of energy. I'm seeing it as very fiery, very yellow, pure light. It's like the light of the sun coming in, if you can imagine that energy just coming towards you like a comet. But then the funny thing is our energy is actually going back at it from our solar plexus chakra. So it's like this collision of energies. And that's what makes this so special to me, because I, tap into energies all the time, and I never feel something where it's like a collision of energies. So I thought that was really unusual. when I drilled down into it, the things that came to me is the heart of the lion. And I think the way to think about the heart of the lion, you know, the Wizard of Oz, the lion is so sweet. And I think it's about speaking your truth and living on your unique path with your truth. And the way to really do that and manifest that in daily life is to really soften into your heart and approach everything, including yourself, with just ultimate compassion and understanding. But at the same time, I think you need to have a sovereignty about you so that even if you speak your truth and that's not what somebody else wants to hear, you can trust yourself enough to know that whatever's coming back at you is really a reflection of their I want to say transference or ego, or it's basically like a reflection, which I think is why that booming energy is happening both ways, because it's sort of like when you look into a mirror, it's like that energy of yourself comes back at you. So I think that's like, if you can face your inner power and really feel the power of yourself coming back at you and accept and own that power, I think that that's what the Lionsgate energy is about. And I think there's something to it about surrendering in that softness, but like I said, surrendering while you're staying grounded and centered in your truth, to not get swayed off by somebody else's desires or somebody else's manipulation or control over you, which has a lot to do with the number 8. The number 8 is, you know, number 8 people tend to fall into power plays all the time. So, you know, it's about being grounded and centered in yourself so that you know how to move forward from there. All right, so the other thing that's important is the collective at this time. I do feel it's a time to come in to your soul tribes, come into your group of friends, come into your families, and really get centered and grounded within the people that you feel are reverberating and vibrating back to you what you want to put out, and also what you are putting out. You have to look very honestly at yourself and ask yourself, what exactly am I putting out there? Because if you're attracting stuff to you, on some level, you're calling it to you. So now's a time, it's a blessing, it's a gift when we can really stand in our sovereignty, beam out that energy that we want to exude, and then let anything that doesn't suit us at this time just fall away. And I think that that's the blessing of the Lionsgate portal, is it really is a way to, you know, I don't ever want to say like cut something off, but it's more of just like a blessing and a recognition of like, we are no longer in vibration, either with another person or with a thing or with a desire or with a manifestation or a behavior, just to realize that you can have the power to just, I guess, like let it go. All right. So the other thing is that the lion energy brings in manifestation powers, because it's, the portal is about bringing into that solar plexus chakra. So it's bringing that energy into the 3D material plane, and this will give us incredible powers of manifestation for anybody that wants to awaken to this energy. And I think creativity has a lot to do with it too. Creativity is a big quality of Leo, and I think the easiest way to raise your vibration is by doing creative acts. And likewise, if you're living your life and being true to yourself and being unique, you will have no choice but to be creative with the life choices that you're making and with the things that you do and the people that you're around. All right, so the other thing I wanted to mention is this is not going to be an easy time. It's going to be triggering. We're going to have to bring a lot to the plate, and this might, because we're ascending, this might bring us some ascension symptoms. So I want you to look out for feeling anxious, having aches and pains, feeling fearful, maybe feeling like you need to cry, having an inability to focus, maybe just suddenly having a loss of appetite or suddenly gaining weight with an increased appetite, having levels of exhaustion or sensitivity to things. And I think it's just important to realize these things so that when they do happen, you can address them and take time for yourself to stretch if you're having a backache, rest if you're having a migraine, like lay down and just flat on the floor and release any anxiety or anxious energy that comes up. And if you feel like crying, create the space for yourself so that you can do that, because crying is a way of purging and letting go. So, and don't let anybody tell you you're being overly sensitive, because sensitivity is a beautiful thing, and it should be respected. So I support you through this time, and I wish you all the best, and thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you soon, and good luck with that Lionsgate portal energy. Look out for that on August 8th. All right, see you. Bye.